Just over 7,700 pounds as we see it here, the Cougar 25 RES. This is the one that spurred, like many other Cougars, so many Cougar clones here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. And it is loaded with a ton of big hitter qualities, not the least of which is the fact that this is pretty much one of the only things in its class that has a full-time RV warranty. Part of that is because it has the, the hot cold camp ratings with the 12-volt tank heating pads and an awesome radiant barrier package, big furnace and bigger air standard on these Cougars. The in-command system, the Road Armor shock dampening pin box and suspension for smooth ride and handling, which is probably going to be high on your priority list considering you're looking at a shorter RV. You're probably looking at making it mobile, aren't you? The level of travel accessibility you have here can basically vary depending on the seating arrangement, specifically the dinette that you have here. What we're looking at is the conventional, like booth-style dinette, and one of the cool things about it is you can kind of snake yourself between it and the countertop overhang here, and you can get over here to access the kitchen, your pantry space, all your storage. If you have the table and chairs, it gets a little harder to do that because the table sits higher. But you could also always just kind of dismount the table from the slide floor and turn it 90 degrees, and you could use it that way. So it can be travel accessible. It can be less travel accessible. You could always do the Dukes of Hazzard yeehaw over the countertop. It just kind of depends on what works for you, and that's sort of the thing you have to plan when you're looking at a smaller RV like this. And as we go, keep in mind there's different seating arrangements. What we're looking at today is the theater seat and booth combination, because it gives us that comfy seating space across from the TV and a little bonus sleeper with some extra storage. But you could get it with a hide-a-bed, you could get it with a table and chairs, and I'd really like to know, which way do you think is the best way to go with this Cougar 25 RES here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan? One of the great qualities of this floor plan are all of these huge windows. One of the bad things about this time of day is the light bleeding through those windows just makes it so that everything else looks black. It screws with the camera. But it's also, we're going to make chicken soup out of chicken poop, guys. That's what this is called. We're going to show you these nice, beautiful wooden blinds that these Cougars have. Now, all these windows open for airflow, by the way. I don't want to overlook that fact. But these shades, they go up and down like pleated shades, but obviously they keep that sun from really becoming a problem. And you can see there's a little light peeking through the bottom of these. I didn't yank them down real tight. You can totally block the window off if you are so inclined. As I mentioned, there are different seating arrangements available, and I really value your input on that. Like, how would you like to see that? One of the things I think is really cool is that with this floor plan, if we take a look, you see that theater seat can lay down into like a double small sleeper. Plus, you have the dining can fold down. So this is a great couples arrangement. There's storage below that dinette, but I think it still gives us enough guest capacity while still being very like couples centric most of the time. And what's cool about this floor plan is the way that all of the space kind of serves two functions. So over here, the entertainment center, it's great. You've got that monster 4K ultra high def television. And it faces, when it's mounted flat, when you pull the swing arm back in, it's straight at the theater seat, which, by the way, has heat, massage, and USB plugs for your phones. All cool stuff. Well, no, it doesn't heat and massage your phone. It heats and massages your butt, and then it charges your phone. And I tell you, if you leave that heater on for a while, and you forget and you come sit back down, you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out real quick. But the TV obviously can pivot around for easy viewing. What's cool, though, is that is kind of the secret in the sauce here, because instead of this RV having a situation where the living room stops and then the kitchen starts, they actually overlap. And now that we're not pointed straight at them, I've opened those slide windows and you can see all the light coming in here. Obviously, very welcome. Lighter feels brighter, brighter feels bigger, and bigger feels better. The rear wall here has like a little kind of storage, shelf, buffet kind of area. But you see how it kind of shifts over to that, level change where the TV is located. And the TV has shelving behind it. That's what I call a pantry-tainment center. I say that all the time. It was actually the way that Cougar does their kitchen to pantry to entertainment exchange that caused me to kind of start using that phrase. There's an extra chunk of storage above the fridge because why waste it? And that is an 8 cubic foot fridge freezer plus below the entertainment center, outside of the RV, you have a little mini outdoor kitchenette, which has an additional little kind of like 2 cubic foot dorm fridge, effectively. So this RV has about 10 cubic foot of cold storage. You can see the larger 22-inch oven in play here as well, with that recessed top. That in conjunction with the sealed edge counters and the recessed stainless sink with covers gives us some pretty cool prep space here. Drawers to the floor. And as we start to look up past that big kitchen breeze window, under that overhead cabinet there are some household outlets. But that is not the only set of outlets that you have access to in this RV. If we sneak around here, first of all, you notice that that main entry door also has a full viewing window. You can see everything moving clearly out there. You have USB and household plugs on the back side of this countertop with a couple big old pots and pans drawers. From there, as we back up, we see the handy little entry area coat closet. I like that they just didn't leave that wall blank. You know, they did something with it, and frankly, they did something pretty handy and pretty functional. Now, good look at the windows here, all opened up, and that's what I was afraid of right there. You start pointing at the windows and the camera goes, oh no! But if we get down away from that, look at our dinette. There is a freestanding table and chairs option, like I mentioned. There is also a household outlet back there on that dinette, plus you see the household outlet right there. I mean, there's plugs all over the place. Another thing that's really cool is you see that little switch next to the window in the slide? That is the dimmer control switch for the lighting here in the Super Slide. And before we head upstairs, just a quick look at the kitchen area all closed up so you get to see what it looks like when there's not cabinet doors in your face all over the place. And if this bed and bath arrangement looks familiar, it's for good reason. It's used a lot in the RV industry. The first time I saw it just really kind of mass adopted was in the Keystone, Montana, Cougar's big brother, sister, whatever you want to call it. And since then, I've found it just used all over the place, and it makes a lot of sense here because it gives you that big shower, good linen space. You saw plenty of legroom in front of that foot flush stool. But the little Cougar touches, you know, every brand has their own little variety, their own shape and flair and character. That clear shower door, it makes the room look and feel much bigger, especially with that like really bright shower surround panel. Of course, it has a little corner seat in that easy step-in shower. The triple sliding panel doors get right out of the way for you. And over here, that's a sealed edge countertop. What that'll let you do there is, God forbid, you splash some water around, or here in a humid bathroom where you're generating a ton of shower steam and stuff, it'll keep that from like self-delaminating from just water exposure. As we slide over here into the hallway, neat thing all Cougars do is they fully frame out all of their doors so that everything stays square, so that as you go down the road, this bedroom door doesn't jostle open on us. We've got a 60 by 80 queen bed here, and Cougar's very good about keeping those extra large side stands available on both sides of the bed. That is a handy feature for phone chargers, and not to mention the fact that it makes you feel more open when you're laying in that bed. There is no big step up at the end of the bed either. That's something that they took care of, I don't know, maybe a couple years ago now. Time seems to fly. Big breeze window over here on this side of the RV, and as we pass across, one of the things you'll notice, household and USB outlets for both side stands. Just a nice touch. But what I was getting at, what you'll notice is that extra large wardrobe closet right there with those huge mirror doors make this room look and feel even larger. Of course, there are TV hookups directly across from the bed, but one of the other things you'll notice here is this is our little thermal probe. That's what talks to the in-command system to tell it, hey, what's the temperature in the bedroom? Hey, what's the temperature in the bedroom, huh? Anyway, also, neat thing with in-command, it still has a dedicated just the bedroom light switch so that you're not, flipping the lights on and off in the entire RV all the time. Now, you may have noticed how those wardrobe doors went down past the bed. Well, they didn't make it just wastefully tall. They actually added some dresser drawers on the bottom, which creates an extra shelf in the closet you can utilize. And then you can see that these aren't hanging closets on either side of the bed. They're just general storage cabinets, but they get the job done. Again, there's just no instance of wasted space going on here in this Cougar RV at Haylett RV. And a very easy lift, big storage compartment below the bed finishes us up before we bleed down through the floor to look at that pass-through. Down here in the depths, this extra large pass-through compartment is something that you don't always find in this size of fifth wheel. I mean, this is a small rig, and that is almost the same size of a compartment as you get in a big, like, 40-foot Cougar. This is awesome. If you peer over here with me, you're going to see the automatic leveling control pad, which is the far thing that we're looking at. And the close one is actually where you would mount a charge controller should you choose to utilize the newly added roof mount solar prep. Over here we've got our in-command panel, which has all of the color-coded wiring coming in here. Keystone was the first and still is one of the few manufacturers that color codes all their wiring. Better accuracy and less nonsense. God forbid you ever did need to work. More motion sense lights. The switches for our tank holding heaters and holding tank heaters. There we go. There we go. Geez, oh Pete's. And outside TV hookups. Neat thing on that in command too is if like we're standing out here and you want to open that awning, you don't have to grab your phone. You don't have to climb inside and use that touchpad. There's a little selector switch in there where you can control awnings, jacks, all kinds of stuff. Speaking of jacks, Cougar has once again resumed standard automatic leveling. They negotiated a deal with LCI, the leveling supplier for almost all of the industry, and basically it came at a exceptionally small, like less than $200 cost increase from the year before to have standard auto leveling on this. So just push button, ease, and simplicity. That is awesome. We mentioned when we first began our little adventure, the Road Armor pin box and matching suspension system. To give you an idea, it's the exact same stuff they use all the way up on a Montana. They're using it here on the smallest Cougar fifth wheel that they make. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. They've got the new like 23 MLS that we'll have at Haylett RV in the near future. That would actually take over the new role as the smallest. But even that'll have auto leveling. It's crazy. This little thing will be so stable. Once you hit that button, let it do its job, it'll be like it's on a concrete pad. Absolutely fantastic. These are 0 to 100 degree rated. As I mentioned before, we've got that radiant barrier package wrapping its way around the RV. Forced air enclosed protected underbelly with 12-volt tank heating pads to get you through those really nasty cold snaps. The docking center here being fully enclosed and protected. Also a great quality to find in this segment of fifth wheel. You don't sometimes find it, not always. I think Eagles have recently done about the same thing, which is great. Cougar and Eagle, they are like, man, they are head to head. They always like to go right after one another, and it just happens to be that we carry them both here at Haylett RV. You've got a side solar prep plug there, but as I mentioned before, you can roof solar this thing. You've got that full outside shower and another handy motion light out here for you know, ease and simplicity. When it'll just kick on when you open the compartment, it'll close itself when you're done. So, well, it'll shut itself off when you close the door. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Woo! I need to take a break. Get some food, something. But there's no time for food. We got new campers rolling in at Haylett RV, and I love all those big, big windows. That's something they're very good about. There's also a little beauty to the symmetry here that like all the windows are pretty much like the same size. They're all mounted at the same height. It gives it a very aesthetically pleasing look instead of everything being kind of like up, down, in, and around. Backup camera ready, and this does have reverse travel lighting, which is handy for either when you're using the rear view camera or if you have a spotter helping you. And down below that outside utility shower, you have a 2-inch receiver hitch here. So if you want to add things like a little cargo tray for coolers or a bike rack or anything like that, you can do so without sacrificing your factory warranty. Easy tilt power awning over here kind of frames up everything. You can see below that you've got our stable steps and anti-slam door. But one of the big features over here on the campsite of the RV is that little camp kitchen. And it's small because it's kind of hidden under the entertainment center. And they didn't want to make it too big because it would have really taken away from the pantry-tainment storage that we saw inside. It's just enough. You've got that pull-out capital grill right here, and there's a handy little quick connect below that, but you can always leave the lid shut like I've done, and voila, you've got a little, or I'm sorry, somebody told me I need to say voila, you know, and really throw the V on it a little bit. But, see, I do try to listen to that commentary, guys. But the fact is you've got an Eagle stainless prep station here, and that handy little fridge, plus the fridge inside, gives us over 10 cubic foot of cold storage here. Beautiful. Fully loaded legacy paint package, solar ready generator, Montana there leaving in the distance. Heading to Delaware. We are in a small southern Michigan town, but we are a very large dealership with an extremely impacting online presence. I don't care where you live, just like those folks are from Delaware and they're taking home a big luxury fifth wheel. These things are on wheels. We can get them from here to there. You're welcome to come get them. The thing is, we are very close to where the factories are located. They're only about 54 minutes that way. I've timed it. That's how I know the number. And I've made that trip many times looking at factory production lines and taking our team down there for training. It's nice being so close. We have a factory trained sales team. But the point is, doesn't matter where you are, guys. If you appreciate what we're doing at Haywood RV, give us a call and give us a fair chance to earn your business. But I wanted to get up here to show you that roof solar prep plug, which is between this ceiling vent and that antenna sticking up there. And one other thing I wanted to point out, like they went to that white skin. You can see that white puck right there, and there's a radiant barrier under this roof line, really helping keep the sunshine out and to keep it cool. And you notice how most of the roof fixtures are black, but not the AC shroud. They put it white on top so that it's not going to directly absorb a ton of sunlight. Because if it does that, if the AC shroud gets warm, then the air conditioner doesn't work as well, and then it doesn't cool as well, and you get a little hotter, which is the exact opposite of what you're probably trying to accomplish with the air conditioner. So it's not just good for cold camping with, you know, all the belly treatments and tank heaters. If you're going to be Arizona, you know, Texas, Georgia camping, Cougars get it done no matter where you put your head at night. So give us a call here at Haywood RV. We don't do hidden dealer fees, but we only do everything else. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.